Hey, good morning everybody, it's Trav. Duh. It's really early. I've been recording a bit of footage and trying to throw what I could into the countdown I've got going. It's very early. I'm just having my coffee, which is a sight to be seen because my mug broke. So, here we go, and the camera is leaning. Great. Anyway, so, actually this is a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time. For Conroy, who's waiting for a glove. And Conroy, as many of you might know, is an amazing glove builder. And Conroy Collectibles, Conroy we're talking about. Anyway, and I get this, again, I get a lot of requests and information and that, and I try to help out where I can. But I've been meaning to do this for a while, and it just so happens that I'm actually doing a bit of soldering right now, so it bodes well for me to take advantage of it. And although my computer isn't working, I do have a computer at work, so I'll try to cut this together. So what we're going to be doing is giving a quick demo of how Trav solders. And again, look, the gloves that I'm doing now are not brazed, and for you glove aficionados, you know what brazing is. Brazing is the official method used on the Part 1 and Part 2. All the other sequel gloves were silver solder. But Part 1, Part 2, same glove, was brazed. However, by the time Part 2, Revenge kicked around, the glove was completely refinished. It was painted gold on the copper, and most of the brazing reds and all that kind of stuff on the tips were covered. So you don't really see it. So silver solder suffices. So for the Part 2s that I'm working on, which I'm working on quite a few of them right now, I'm using silver. And I've got a couple things going out in a few weeks, so let's take a look. And we'll solder a blade, and we'll do the best we can. And I'll let you know what we're doing, and you can see how I do it, which is not the way you're going to expect, probably. I will say this. You will need a couple things. Conroy, you're going to need some liquid utility flux. Specifically, look, the more you want to invest, the better the outcome. You can use this Utility Wonder utility flux. It's liquid acid. It's alright. The pH balance is a little low, so it doesn't do a whole lot of cleaning. You want something that's really going to clean the metal. By the way, if you're using paste flux on anything other than the braces on a glove, stop doing it. It's filthy, and it bleeds, and it's just a mess to work with. You can use it for spot soldering. Well, I do that. I use the paste on my stuff on the underside, on the braces. For the blades, if you're using paste, this is part of your problem. Conroy, I know you've had a problem with blades not being secure, and even plumbers don't know this. I had a plumber walk into my place once and go, "You can't." And he has gloves on the floor, and he left me a note. He's like, "Call me." I'm like, "Okay, plumber wants me to call him." You can't solder stainless steel. It won't work. Well, yes, it will. And the guy who actually saved my ass from glove building oblivion way back when was Ryan Effner. Ryan Effner came to the rescue after I showed him one of my early gloves that I was trying to build, and it was really thick, penny thick copper. His first comment was, "God, it must have been a bitch to bend that." The other thing was I had all the solder clumped on, it piled on because it's just like solder. It wasn't working. So what you need, first of all, is a really good lead-free silver solder flux, and you can get Kester's, which is great. It's online. You can get it at Kitcraft in Los Angeles. If you can't find it online, they generally have it. It's where I got all my stuff for Popsicle Stick Dream House. It's where all the Nightmare stuff, most of the stuff for props was bought. At least the sequel I worked on. A lot of the supplies were got at Kitcraft. Look it up on Google in Studio City. Anyway, if you can't find Kester's, this is really good. It's Alpha Fry lead-free silver solder flux for non-electrical applications. that is what I use. This is super clean. It's specifically made for silver solder. Why, you ask, do I need it for silver solder? Because, and you can get it if you're lucky, and then we stop making stuff that we, need in life, and cancel things and discontinue things that are great for no fucking reason. Look at Twinkies. Boy, it's early. I'm tired. Silver solder. Now this is actually pretty thick stuff. I like the really thin wire solder, but I'm good enough. My skills are enough that I can use this on the part 2 and really get in there and paint my stuff to mimic the brazing patterns that are evident on that glove. Specifically, this is 98% tin, 2% silver. Yes, that is what will solder your stainless steel with this flux. It creates a perfect bond. You have to play around with the heat a little bit, but that's what you should be using. If you're using anything else, you're going to have, it's going to be a nightmare. So let's take a look. I got to get to work in a few hours, so we're going to see what we can pull off, and I'll show you some work and we'll get soldering.